John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beat Digger Stadium in Brush. We are scoreless going to the second quarter. The Beat Diggers have the football just beyond the 35-yard line on their own side of the field. On second down and 10, Tormolen hands it off from the right side to Carter. Swings it back to the inside as a couple of yards, and then he is gang tackled at the 38-yard line. He'll pick up 3. That Wray defense is all over the place, and the Beat Diggers can't block everybody. Jack Schwinn was the first man in on the hit. 3rd and 7 for Brush.
Just a visual for everybody. It was like all the all the white shirts were on top of Carter, and a lot of the Cardinal shirts were either watching or on the ground. So the Eagles defense doing a good job of shedding their blocks, putting the Diggers on the grass, and making the tackle.
Albo's the receiver to the right. 3rd down and 7 for the Beat Digger 38. Tormolen under center. He's going to roll to his right off the bootleg, cut it back to the inside across the 40. He's going to be short of the first down to the 42. He'll pick up 4. And you know what happens there, Dave, is without the threat of the run, like the Beat Diggers normally have, the bootleg is not as effective. Jack Schwinn again in on another tackle, 4th and 3, and you'd think the Beat Diggers here would play the field position game and punt.
Yeah, but it will be interesting to see what they decide to do. I see Stratman's out there. I think they're going to go ahead and punt it, but they ran that to the short side of the field over there, and Schmollen had to cut it up the field. It looked like he got a little bit hurt on that play as he got up slow.
Cade Reinick is standing at his own 21-yard line. A low snap. Stratman has it, gets it off. That's a much better punt, end over end. Reinick is going to dive for it and fall on it at the 29-yard line. That was risky. Now, if he didn't field that punt, it was either going to fumble it or it was going to get by him and take a Beat Digger roll. And the punt goes for 29 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for Wray at their own 29-yard line with 10:32 to go before the break.
That was an excellent punt against the wind. You know, it's not a strong wind that's coming from the southeast, but the flag's waving over there, so he was able to punt it. It was a spiral. It was fairly low, and it was more of a direct line drive sort of a kick. It was really effective.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 29-yard line. This is their second drive. Their first was pretty effective. They took 6 minutes off the clock. Reinick will hand it off on the right side to Derek Schultz, and he's tripped up at the 29. Looked like Daniel Soto got a piece of his ankle, and right back to the line of scrimmage was Derek Schultz. 2nd down, and we'll call it 10.
You know, they had a lot of ground back there they needed to make up as the handoff was fairly deep, and it took him a long time to turn it upfield. By that time, the Diggers had a lot of penetration, and they had that hole plugged up.
1305 Edison Street in Brush is CNC Auto Parts. They are your local Napa Auto Parts store. 2nd down and 10 for the 29-yard line. Reinick in a shotgun. 2 receivers off to the right. Awaiting the snap, a high snap, 1-step drop, throws to his right. The pass is complete at the 32-yard line, swinging it to the inside and back to the outside before being tackled for a gain of 4. Preston Talbert. And Eric Garcia made the play. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 for Wray. As we approach the 9-minute and 20-second mark of the second quarter. Talbert is the outside receiver to the left. Kyler Churchwell in the inside slot. Shotgun formation. 3rd and 7 for Wray at their own 32-yard line. Beat Diggers might come with a blitz. And they're coming with an extra attacker rolling to his left, looking, throwing towards the sideline. Wide open, caught. 1st down by Talbert. Knocked out of bounds by Albo at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 16 as Wray moves the sticks.
You have the guys back there. We just lost the coverage. I think one of our DBs, he was kind of standing there. He froze in his tracks as he saw Reinick roll this way, and he forgot where his guy was. He was supposed to be covering, and just let him slip loose. He caught it over here close to the Brush sideline.
Again, will the Beat Diggers not break? They do bend quite a bit, at least what we've seen the last 5+ quarters, but they don't break. 1st and 10 for Wray, just outside their own 48-yard line. Again, Reinick in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers off to the right. Reinick 1-step drop, quarterback draw, takes off with it across the 50 to the 45, up the left sideline to the 35, still on his feet, and he's going to be dragged down by Brett Bostrom, but not before he gets to the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 26 and another Wray 1st down.
Yeah, he's running with a lot of enthusiasm out there. The the Wray Eagles are really fired up, and you can see them playing with the, just that love and that intensity that you have to bust some big plays loose. And Wray just ran a play that's kind of been an Achilles heel for Brush over the years. Remember last year against Eaton, or was that the year before when their quarterback? It was last year when their quarterback had a lot of quarterback draws that just ran right up the middle. It was the same
Brad
kind of play.
Blasine. Well, Wray has won 9 of the last 10 meetings, as we documented before. 1st and 10 for the Beet Digger 25. Rolling to his right. No pressure coming. Plenty of room. And he's going to take off with a football. Reineck on the outside of the 20-yard line. Dives towards the sideline. Close to a first down before he's knocked out of bounds at the 16, maybe the 15, as they'll mark the football momentarily. But it's a gain of maybe 10. Let's see. They're still not determining whether it's a first down. It is right now. It's a gain of 10 to the 15-yard line for the quarterback, Cade Reineck, who has put together a couple of nice carries on the last 2 snaps.
It's hard to account for a quarterback that'll scramble like that. And I'll tell you what, he's making the most of it, but he doesn't just throw the ball well. He really runs hard. He runs like a fullback.
1st and 10 from the Beet Digger 15-yard line, 3 in the backfield. Reineck under center is going to pitch it left, looking for a block is Schultz, swinging it to the outside, and that's not Schultz, that's Schwinn, and he's still on his feet, and he's dragged down inside the 5, maybe to the 4. Lots of excellent blocking out there, and one Beet Digger is getting up slowly. That's Eric Garcia, but that'll be a 1st and goal, and that football is at the 3. It's a gain of 12.
So 13 yards now for Schwinn on 2 carries, but it's just that pitch around. They were able to hook our defensive end, and once they got our defensive end hooked, they were off to the races.
Schultz, Willard, and Schwinn in the backfield. 1st and goal from the 3. Reineck to Willard, right up the gut, and he dives towards the goal line. He's going to be short. Might have gotten to the 1.5. 2nd and goal. Bryant Woodward made the tackle. But we'll call it a pickup of close to 2, and 2nd down just outside the 1.
Diggers they have 6 guys down there on the line of scrimmage now, 6 defensive linemen trying to go into a goal line sort of a stand.
Just outside the 1, 2nd and goal. And the quarterback, Reineck, keeps it, and he storms right through the middle, and he is in or not. He might be down at the goal line. The officials have not said anything, and now it's a touchdown. A touchdown for Cade Reineck from a long yard away, and Wray leads 6-0 with 7:31 to go in the opening half.
We couldn't see if he was in or out, but it's obvious, he's just playing with a lot of strength and a lot of power and a lot of enthusiasm, just refusing to go down. And the Diggers did a good job of catching him there at the line of scrimmage. But when you're on your heels or you're standing in one spot and they're coming and somebody's coming right at you with a little bit of momentum, it's hard to stop them.
Alec Ellis to attempt the extra point off the hold of Cade Reineck. Awaiting the snap. It's perfect. That kick by Ellis is up, and that kick is perfect. It's Wray 7, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 8 plays, 71 yards in 3 minutes and 1 second. Cade Reineck scores from about 1.5 yards away. The extra point is good. And quite frankly, the Beet Diggers were pretty much thoroughly dominated on the line of scrimmage. They had 4 double-digit plays against them in a row before Wray entered the red zone. 7-0 as Austin Brendan will kick it off. Eric Garcia is the deep man, but he might as well move up because Brendan's leg does not appear to be that strong, and that is line drive. Bounced at the 21, picked up by Blake at the 17 to the 20, running up the middle to the 30-yard line, has a seam, and he's down at the 31. A decent return as the tackle was made once again by Jack Schwinn. Somebody's got to block that guy.
Yeah, he's all over the field, but, those guys out there just busting their humps. I'll tell you what, Blake had a good run back there. A lot of that was because he ran so low. He wasn't straight up and down. He had his shoulders in front of his knees, and he was low at the end of the carry, and that's what enabled him to pick up those extra yards.
A return of 15. The Beet Diggers have it 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line, now trailing 7-0. Beet Diggers are not used to being down in recent years when you look at how good this team has been. Tormolen hands it off right side to Carter, tripped up in the backfield, and he cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. Penetration by Austin Reed, the junior linebacker at 6'3", 180. They might give him the line of scrimmage at the very best. It'll be 2nd down and 10. No gain for Tyler Carter, and that's really not his fault.
No. But again, just going on that predictable count, that's what it's got to be. Not really a short count, not going on 2, not catching those Eagles off guard and making them stay home and wait for us to snap the football.
The Bee-Diggers send in 3 and obviously supplant 3. Garcia, Bostrom, and Albo are the receivers to the right. 2nd down and 10 for the Bee-Diggers at their own 32. Rolling right is Tormola, now looking to throw a screen out to the left. That pass is caught along the left side. Plenty of running room across the 40, down the left sideline, inside the 40-yard line to the 35. A big play for the Bee-Diggers as Tyler Carter made the catch. And a gain of 33 and a 1st down.
Just a beautiful play, a little misdirection. The Eagles were all blitzing. We had some decent blocks there, but then they released them, and Tremolin was rolling to the right. Then he throws it back across the field to the left. One blocker out in front. He didn't really get any of the blocks he needed, but since he had that speed, he was able to run right past those guys and make something out of it.
And a lot out of it, as Carter had tons of room over there along the left sideline. 1st and 10 for the Bee-Diggers with 6:10 to go in the opening half. They're at the Wray 35-yard line, trailing 7-0. Carter is the lone setback. In motion to the right is Garcia. Handoff to Carter, and we've got a flag down. There was some confusion there, and maybe the Bee-Diggers committed the penalty. They did illegal procedure, and that's the first penalty, I believe, of the game, and it is.
Yep, and it hurts because I'll tell you what, this Eagle defense is tough. We don't need any more yards than we have to pick up a 1st down.
Northeastern Colorado's hometown savings and loan with locations in Brush and Fort Morgan is Equitable Savings and Loan. So the Bee-Diggers will have the football. 1st and 15 at the Wray 40. Bostrom is now out. Looks like Blake is now in that backfield, and he is, along with Tyler Carter. From the Wray 40, Tormolen hands off to Carter, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. And he's got nothing. Austin Willard and Cade Reinick just met him at the point of attack. 2nd and 15 for Brush.
Basically no running game so far tonight. Carter's got 6 carries, 7 yards. Chris Lee's got 1 carry, 4 yards. Outside of that, not a whole lot. Schmolen's got 3 yards on 3 carries.
And Blake is now out. Bostrom is in. Dave, it's going to have to be the passing game. The Bee-Diggers have been very good with the passing game so far tonight as we approach the 5-minute mark of the second, and Brush down 7-0 on 2nd and 15 from the Wray 40. Tormolen with lots of pressure, sacked. I mean, the count was read perfectly. Jack Schwinn went right through the middle of the line. As soon as Tormolen took the snap, he grabbed his right ankle and threw him down. I don't even know if that was going to be a pass or a run, but he had to hold on to the football. It's a loss of 1 to the 41, and it's 3rd and 16.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to be a run, but thank goodness Tremolin didn't try to hand it off, or it might have caused a fumble. But it was a good play there by Wray. You got to give him credit of being able to get off on the count faster than us. We're going to have to change our snap count.
Well, there's no doubt. And I think that's even being relayed up here by the coaches in the booth. Vince Albo is the receiver to the right. On 3rd and 16 from the Wray 41. Tormolen rolling to his right. Pressure coming. Throws it off to the left side. It's incomplete. Nearly intercepted towards the sideline at the 26-yard line by Cade Reinick. And I'm guessing that maybe Albo underneath or Bostrom down the field was the intended receiver, but that looked like a complete mess.
Yeah, I think Albo fell down. It looked like he was supposed to go to the sideline. It was supposed to be about a 10-yard out, but he slipped. He was down, so the only guy over there close to the football was Wray.
Yeah, that was Cade Reinick of Wray, who was right there. 4:13 to go. Are the Bee-Diggers going to take a chance and go for it? Wray gets the second half kickoff. Brush is down 7-0, and it's 4th and 16 from the Wray 41. And the Bee-Diggers might have to take a timeout. They're taking a lot of time here getting to the line of scrimmage. Tormolen under center. On 4th down is back to throw. Looking, pressure coming, throws to the sideline. And whether it's complete or not, it doesn't matter. Maybe for a yard to Eric Garcia because the pressure was coming right up the gut. And Wray has the football on downs. And, Dave, I don't know if that was a good idea. Not that play, but you're talking about 4th and 16. And this Wray defense has come to play tonight, and they take over now with great field position with 4 minutes to go, up by a touchdown in the second quarter after that 1-yard completion to Garcia.
Yeah, that's one of those plays you end up being able to second-guess people on, especially since Stratman had a pretty decent punt the play before that.
You can first guess, though, when you think about the way this game has gone so far. 1st and 10 for Wray at their own 40-yard line. 2 receivers out to each side. And there's the handoff to Willard running right. He lowers his shoulder, gains about a couple of yards. As getting in that backfield for Brush was Daniel Soto. Check that. That was Felix Calderon. And the gain is going to be a couple to the 42. 2nd down and 8. And this is where the Beet Digger defense has got to respond. If not, they're in a big hole going into the locker room.
The offensive line array, they just kind of chop their feet and stand up and keep moving down the field. They don't end up on the grass, and Willard just stays right behind them.
2nd down and 8 from their own 42-yard line. Under center is Reineck this time. 1 setback, short drop, looking to his right. Now pressure coming, spins back to his left. He throws on the run, that pass is tipped, and it's caught. A diving reception by Talbert at the 47-yard line. Despite the tip, they're going to pick up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3. And when you see a play like that, maybe things are just going Ray's way right now.
Yeah, Talbot did a good job of coming back to the football. Looked like the play. First of all, Reineck looked left, and then he was trying to go right. Then he ends up rolling left again, and Wray did a good. The receivers did a good job of seeing which way he was rolling, and then changing their direction and rolling back with him.
Welcome home to your hometown grocery store, featuring Morgan County's largest variety, the Brush Grocery Cart. 3rd and 3 for Wray at their own 47-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right. Shotgun for Reineck. Rolling that way. Pressure coming. Throws off his back foot. And the pass is caught by Talbert in front of the Wray bench on the sideline. 1st down to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And the Eagles continue to drive.
Talbert now at 34 yards on 4 catches.
Clock stops with 2:34 to go before halftime. Reineck has the lone touchdown from 1.5 yards away. And again, the Beet Diggers are playing without their star fullback and linebacker, and Connor Weiser out with a knee injury, and that certainly has shown on the field so far. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the Beet Digger 48-yard line. They're looking to make this a 2-touchdown game before the break. Reineck in a shotgun. And we've got our 2nd penalty of the game. That looked like it was against Wray for illegal procedure. And the Beet Diggers need every yard they can get at this point, because the defense has been out there way too long. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Eagles at their own 47-yard line.
Wray has a good passing attack of their own, so it's to their advantage. You know, they can slow the game down and throw the ball and take a chance at dropping a few passes every now and then. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a good job of getting to the sideline with a lot of those passes where guys can get out of bounds.
1st and 15 from their own 47. Reineck in a shotgun, spins to his left, looking to throw. That pass is going to be over the head of the intended receiver, Talbert, at the 46-yard line. Incomplete. Too bad a Beet Digger wasn't standing there, because there would have been a large lane to run an interception back through.
Yeah, he just threw it right over his head, but and he was wide open, but we had 2 guys back there covering the deep guy.
Yeah, it would have been a gain of probably 6 or 7 yards, nothing too substantial. 2:28 to go, first half. Wray 7, Brush nothing on homecoming night in Brush. 2nd and 15 for the Eagles at their own 47-yard line on the far side of the field. Shotgun formation, Reineck, quarterback draw, plenty of running room to the 50. A flag is down up near the sideline to the 40. Still on his feet, breaks the tackle at the 35. He's down to the 30. It'll be a gain of 23 yards, but that one could be coming back.
I think there might be a hold on that play. Brush got a little bit unlucky. We had a blitz with our linebacker on this near side, and he ended up running right past our linebacker that was blitzing. He ran on the right side. Our linebacker blitzed on the left side, and he just ran right past him.
Carlos Carrillo was down the field and made the initial hit, but it is holding against Wray. And they're going to be facing 2nd and probably 25 here, if it's from the line of scrimmage. If the hold, well, it wasn't exactly from the line of scrimmage. They're going to say the hold was a little bit downfield, and that's why it's going to be 2nd and about 23. They've got to get to the Beet Digger 38-yard line from a shotgun formation. from the 39-yard line. Rolling to his left is Reineck. Looking, still looking. Pressure coming. Rolls back out to his right. He's trying to buy time along the sideline. Will take off with the football and is forced out of bounds at the 40, maybe the 41. Ethan Brost was over there. It'll be a short gain. Let's see exactly where it is. The line of scrimmage was the 39, and now looks like it's the 41, a gain of 2. Excellent job by the Beat Diggers, because you've got an athletic quarterback making life very difficult for the Brush defense.
Yeah, he rolls to the left and then changes direction, runs all the way back to the right. And I'll tell you what, he's getting our defensive line a little tuckered out.
3rd and 21. Big play for the Beat Digger defense. Rays at their own 41-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Passing situation for the Eagles, who've been pretty successful through the air. Reineck awaiting the snap from the shotgun. Has the football. 2-step drop. Now dropping deeper. Maybe setting up a screen. Throws out to his left. Pass is nearly picked off, and it's incomplete. Randy Baker nearly had it at the 40. He would have been gone. Nobody in front of him, intended for Derek Schultz. He basically ran right in front of the receiver, Schultz, and it would have been an easy 40-yard interception return for a score, but he simply dropped it.
Yeah, it went right through. His hands were above his head. The ball went right in between his hands, but you got to give him credit. I'll tell you what, he read that screen, he stepped up in there, and he almost made the big play.
I think that's called jumping the route, Dave, because he was right there. But Wray has to punt with 1:41 to go. Austin Willard to do so on 4th down and 21 from their own 41. Now the Beat Diggers do have 2 timeouts before the break and a shot to even this game. Awaiting the snap is Willard, and he gets it off high, end over end. Vince Albo will field it at the 26, running to the 30, back to his left to the 35. Oh, a flag is down. Looks like it's against Eric Garcia for a block in the back, I think, because they threw it right in his direction as he is down at the 37-yard line, a return of 12 for Albo. But now the Beat Diggers are not going to have good field position as they begin this drive with 1:34 to go before the break, trailing 7-0 in Brush.
Yeah, it's going to put them back inside their own 20 for sure. One of those deals where Albo changed directions, and right when he changed directions, the Ray defender changed his direction, and it forced Garcia was in the process of blocking him, and the kid turned, and it turned it into a block in the back.
Committed to serving those in production, Ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. It's going to be at the 21-yard line, just shy of the 21 for Brush. 1st down and 10 with 1:34 to go. And you know that Ray's going to use their share of timeouts to get the ball back, which means the Beat Diggers at the very minimum have got to pick up a 1st down. On 1st and 10 from the 21. Backs are split. Carter and Lee. Tormolen drops the football, picks it up, and he's down at the line of scrimmage, maybe, but probably not. He's lost a yard, and there's a late flag. And a Ray player in Preston Talbert is not happy, almost motioning that is against the Eagles after the loss of 1. It looked like they piled on Tormolen, and maybe that's what is the call, is going to be a personal foul.
Yeah, and it should be, because the Eagles, you can tell they're coached to gang tackle and really put the hurt on people, but they were jumping on after the play was over, and the officials just aren't going to allow that.
Loss of 1 for Tormolen, but it's a blow to the head off that personal foul, so the Beat Diggers 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Maybe that'll get them going. The Beat Diggers have had 1 great play tonight, 2, a 25-yard pass and a 33-yard screen play to Tyler Carter. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Tormolen looking to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. Throws off his back foot, and the pass is incomplete. Along the left side, intended for Trevor Blake at the 44. But Tormolen is unable to step up in the pocket because of the pressure coming right up the gut.
Yeah, he threw it a lot short. That was probably the worst pass we've seen him throw this year, but there's so much pressure coming at him from the right and the left, he didn't have any room to wind up and throw it.
2nd down and 10. Lee and Bostrom along with McConnell back in for the Beat Diggers. At their own 35-yard line, 1:12 to go before halftime. Ray leads 7-0. Eric Garcia is also out. The receiver to the right is Albo. And Tormolen's going to have to get this off quickly. On 2nd down, Tormolen rolling to his right. Now stepping back, throwing over the middle. The pass is incomplete, dropped by McConnell at the 44, who juggled that football and couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, it hit him kind of. He was running to the right, so his right shoulder was closest to Tremolin, and the ball was a little bit behind him, and it looked like it kind of caught his right forearm as he twisted back to catch it, and he just kind of lost track of where the ball was.
3rd down and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 35-yard line. Wray has a touchdown from Cade Reinick from 1.5 yards away. That was earlier in this quarter. The Bee Diggers are looking to counter, but now even the passing game is not working for Brush. Garcia back in. He's on the inside slot to the right. 3rd and 10. Tormolen back to throw. Rolling right. Setting up. Back to his left. Now has time. Now still rolling to his left. And now he's trying to work his way out of a sack. He's going to be sacked back at the 31-yard line. Nobody was open. Austin Willard throws him down, and Wray calls a timeout. It'll be a loss of 3 yards. 4th and 13 for the Bee Diggers.
Yeah, nobody was open, but nobody was blocking either. A lot of guys were standing around watching those Eagles pursue Mitch, and sometimes that happens. Guys get kind of frozen in their tracks. They're not sure what they need to do, but nobody was flying in there to make any blocks for him.
Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. We'll have video highlights of this game on KSIRsports.com by clicking on Brush Videos. You can check out plenty of videos from the first 2 games against Fort Morgan and Faith Christian. Once again, that's KSIRsports.com. Click on Brush Videos, or you can go to our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. We've got close to 2,000 videos for the last few years just of high school sports alone. That's, again, our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. 4th and 14 officially for the Bee Diggers. Tyler Stratman out there to punt at their own 31-yard line, and Wray is going to have one final opportunity with 52 seconds to go in the opening half. Cade Reinick is standing at his own 36. Need a good snap here to Stratman. That's a perfect one. He gets it off. A spiraling punt. It's going to land at the 41, take a huge Bee Digger roll inside the 35, down at the 33. Well, that's going to work very nicely for Brush. A punt of 36 yards. And with 43 seconds to go, the Eagles are going to definitely put this ball in the air if they're going to get downfield quickly.
I'll tell you what, that was a great punt there by Stratman. You got to give him credit, kicking the ball against the wind. And, boy, it's just working for him right now. As he didn't kick it right at Reinick. He kind of kicked it to Reinick's right a little bit, and he couldn't come up there and make the catch.
For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. 1st and 10 for Wray at their own 33-yard line with 43 ticks remaining in the opening half. The Eagles lead 7-0. They're looking for their 10th victory in the last 11 tries against Brush. 2 receivers split each side. Shotgun for Reinick. Several step drop, throws deep over the middle. The pass is tipped and intercepted by Bostrom at the 42 to the 50-yard line. Running to his right along the sideline to the 40. Still on his feet to the 35. Back to the inside to the 30. Up the right sideline. And he's knocked out of bounds inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Bostrom with a return of close to 37 yards. And the Bee Diggers are in business with 27.8 seconds to go in the opening half.
Just enough time. I'll tell you what, Bostrom is just so quick. And then don't forget, he's got a lot of experience running the football. So he knew how to set his blocks up. And I thought for a second there he was going to run out of bounds. But he got down the sideline. He was thinking end zone. He planted his right foot, cut it back to the middle, and picked up about 10 more yards.
Dave, even a field goal here, just so momentum for Brush. I mean, they are in this game, but you feel they're almost out of it at certain points because of the little offense they've generated. But they do have a 1st and 10 at the Wray 18. Carter is the lone setback, trips to the left. Tormolen back to throw, rolls to his left, and he's got to get out of it. He's going to be sacked. Oh, boy, he was sacked back at the 25 or 30-yard line, closer to the 30, thrown down to the turf by Jordan Stober, the 5'11", 200-pound senior. It's a loss of 10 at the 29. I have to tell you, Dave, as composed and as talented a quarterback as Tormolen is, you've got to throw that football away.
Yeah, he's going to have to throw that thing out of bounds over someplace and just make sure he gets rid of it. But, you know, it's easy for us to say. We don't have those great big strong Eagles coming over at us trying to smash us.
Well, there was some time there initially, and then it closed. Bee Diggers do call a timeout with 17.8 seconds to go. At the very least, you've got to get into field goal range for Jesus. Right now, they're pretty much out of field goal range. Be about a 46-yarder with that wind swirling. The Bee Diggers have had some success in the passing game when they get the passes off, but lately the Wray attack is even more ferocious as Tormolen's been sacked a couple of times.
Yeah, Tormolen's 4 for 7 for 71 yards. That's a whale of a night of a passing game for the Diggers if you look back historically. But like you said, he's been under a lot of pressure, and somehow the Diggers are going to have to do a better job of holding their blocks up front and just trying to give him that one more second. And the receivers are going to have to do a really good job of paying attention to where he's at and be ready to come back to the football if he's having to scramble.
Oh, the problem is you got 2nd and 21 for the Wray 29 with only 17 seconds to go. Trips to the right, Tormolen under center, several step drop, looking, throwing out to his right behind Eric Garcia at the 29-yard line, incomplete, and I don't even understand that play. Unless they were trying to isolate him to the point, which he didn't really have much running room because for the Eagles, they had Austin Reed out there, the linebacker who would have made the play, and now it's 3rd down and 21 with 14 seconds to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, you get Garcia the ball in the open field, and good things can happen if you can just get the ball in his hands. But, again, on that play, there was some pressure on Tormolen. It made it hard for him to throw the football.
Yeah, the Bee Diggers are just not able to handle these Eagles tonight, at least in the opening half. They'll have to make some adjustments. 2 receivers split each side. 3rd and 21 for the Wray 29. Carter's the lone setback. Tormolen back to throw. Pressure coming again deep over the middle. The pass is caught by Albo. Albo is at the 12-yard line, and he's tackled right there. Bee Diggers call a timeout with 7 seconds to go on that slant. A gain of close to 17 yards. And let's see if the Bee Diggers decide on 4th down and 4 to kick a field goal.
Boy, again, like we've been talking all year, they're able to throw that post pattern over the middle, and that's a tough thing for teams to have to defend, especially when they're sending some linebackers and blitzing a little bit now and then. And that's not saying Wray was doing it on that play because they weren't. They were dropping back into that pass coverage. But, if you're able to get a guy in behind those linebackers and linebackers aren't standing in the passing lane, that's a beautiful thing for a tall quarterback like Tormolen is.
Well, Randy Dreitz realizes that Wray receives a second-half kickoff. The Bee Diggers are down by a touchdown. And with that wind swirling, this 29 to 30-yard field goal would not be that easy, even though Jesus Cardenas has the leg. So it looks like the Bee Diggers are going to go for it and put all the cards on the deck on this one play.
Yep, we're not afraid to gamble, that's for sure. But like you said, it would be a hard kick against this wind, and it's quite a ways out, and the Diggers are used to playing for the win.
4th down and 4 for the 12-yard line of Wray. Man in motion to the right is Blake. Tormolen back to throw, looking, rolling to his left, pressure coming, throwing off his back foot, and the pass is off Garcia's right hand out of bounds along the sideline at around the 3. And Wray takes over on downs, and again, Tormolen had little time to throw as Wray has the football with only 3 seconds to go before the end of the first half.
Yeah, it was just way too hard of a pass. He's having to go over to the left side and throw against. That's running to his left side. It's hard to throw against your body, and then on top of that, just having to do that with all that pressure.
More than likely, Reineck will just take a knee, and the Bee Diggers will have to make some sort of adjustment. Dave, we've done a lot of games. You've been the color analyst for 11 years, the last 9 with me, and we have seen very few games where the Bee Diggers have been beaten at the line of scrimmage, but that's what's happening tonight. Reineck takes a snap, backpedals, takes a knee. That's the end of the opening half on homecoming night in Brush. With the score, Wray 7, Brush nothing. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.